Hello and welcome to this ImagineFX Painter 2022 tutorial. And the theme is the beauty and poetry of watercolors. In this video, I'll share with you the main differences between the sets and tips for use and combination of the brushes. Many watercolor artists have kept secrets about the manufacturing of the pigments and their use, but Painter 2022 has done extensive research to bring to the art community 3 watercolor sets that cover the needs of artists who would like to explore and emulate a more traditional approach to their illustrations, as well as options for a more digital-looking watercolor effect. You are also able to combine these tools with any other media on a software due to the enhanced brush and layer technologies. Notice that in each of the 3 sets, the brushes will have both the more natural and the more digital qualities. So you will need to experiment with them in order to choose what feels right for you and your art style. Many of these tools are also accessories rather than just the pigment or the wash itself. Think of it as your watercolor studio kit. The first set we are going to explore is Fringe. In Fringe, most tools have an overall more natural, realistic and soft feel and render, while a few remain with a more deliberate digital look. The wash effect is overall more moderate. If you want to emulate a more traditional look, combine this with some tools in a pigment set. Notice when you select watercolor brushes on a new layer, Painter will remark this media works better in gel mode. So select Take Care of It For Me on the layer dialog if you are not sure on what to do. You can choose to save your preference. In this set, most colors will be rendered as very soft and pleasant. In some brushes, there will be a nice color variation on your brush strokes. Tip: to have more intense colors, repeat or drag brush strokes atop each other or simply duplicate your layer. Remember to have the mode set back to gel in case you edit the layer and you lose the setting. This set, as well as many others, counts with blender brushes and auxiliary tools such as pure water. What it does is the same as if you dipped your traditional brush in the water and then you went over the watercolor to spread them further on a paper. You have also the splatter brush to create some bubble marks, and you close the set with one of my favorite brushes, which is the variable speckle with a very poetic signature. Our second set is Pigment. It actually refers to the brushes that will give you a drier technique look, close to applying pigment with a minimum of wetness for many of the tools. Also, the brushes in this set have another very important common characteristic, which is a high density of pigment per brush stroke. Also on wet and washes, opposite to Fringe, which, as you have seen, has very low concentration with softer colors. This set has some interesting auxiliary tools such as the wetting agent. Just watch how it transforms the brush strokes. The grainy wash has also a beautiful watery effect. As in a previous set, we also have the salt tool to create these tiny bubble structures which create some interesting textures. My tip is that you combine the tools here in the Pigment with Fringe for composing a nice organic-like personal set of watercolors. Our third and final set, Real. This is the most expressive set with a fun twist. It mixes the qualities of the previous two, such as brushes that look more realistic and others that look more digital, as well as loaded with more pigment and water or the opposite. Some brushes may render color with more substance than others. In other words, it has some tool for anyone. I am particularly fond of the Dirty Water, a fun brush that creates gradients out of a single brush stroke or color value. Here, I simply keep dragging it back and forth. I also like very much the fractal wash, which, as the previous brush, is super nice for painting backgrounds or overall softer looking works. Blending colors in most, though not all brushes, again, is very easy because of the watercolor's transparent quality. You can simply overlay brush strokes with different hues and values effortlessly, as you see here with the small wash. Near closing the set, we have the Tiger Lily, which has a beautiful splatter signature. My last tip for you is combine these sets with pencil and ink. These are two tools that are always well along with watercolors. In Painter, you have plenty to choose from in inks and pencils categories to increment your drawings, sketches and studies. Here you see two thumbnails of loose sketches that I did with pencil oily and ink build-up drippy. This is a quite small, really small sketch, so you can see the details on how the watercolors and the pencils can look quite natural, quite close to what you would see in traditional media. I combined about 4 brushes across the 3 watercolor categories for this very quick thumbnail sketch, and I have finished it with a touch of white pencil oily. The highlight in the eyes and also giving a gist of white fur strands. ImagineFX magazine and I thank you so much for watching, so please visit creativeblock.com/ImagineFX for more inspiring articles and videos, and of course buy your copies of ImagineFX at the newsstands or at the web shop. Bye bye!